Our daily struggles are often associated with two very distinctive sides of a personality. I've always been an admirer and I respect the Native American culture that's out there because they're very spiritual in nature, but a lot of what they say makes sense. Came across a Cherokee legend about two wolves. I'm going to play it for you real quick and try and help you understand uh, depression a little bit more.
As the legend goes, an old Cherokee was teaching his grandson about life. He said to the boy, "A fight is going on inside me. It is a terrible
Sorry about that.
fight, and it is between two wolves. One is evil. He is anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, guilt, lies, superiority, and ego. The other is good. He is joy, peace, love, hope, humility, kindness, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith. The same fight is going on inside you and inside every other person too." The grandson thought about it for a minute, and then he asked his grandfather, "Which wolf will win?" The old Cherokee simply replied, "The one you feed."
I love that. They're, you know, they say that the old saying is there's two sides to every story. There's two sides to depression. There's positive and there's negative. How you deal with it, can change your outlook on life in general.
Hey, I hope you know how valuable you really are, and that whether other people see that value or not does not make you any less valuable. That's it.
Hello, welcome. Hi, Havoc. How you doing, my friend? How to cope with depression. This is a doozy. These are things that I came up with, and also through research and stuff, that can help you cope with depression. Maybe something you're doing isn't working. Maybe something else you try, can help you. So there's 50 things on here on how to help you cope with depression. First and foremost, you have to come to terms with the fact that you do have depression. Even if it's just a little bit. Everybody experiences it some way, one form or another. But it's treatable. You can cope with it, you can treat it, you can sometimes even overcome it. But aside from using medication or therapy or a combination of both, there's a lot of mechanisms out there that you can do to really help you get through your day, one day at a time, into next week, into next month, and go through year after year. I've been dealing with depression for 45 years. It'll be 46 years next month. If I can do it, so can you. Keep a regular daily routine, consistent common tasks. Wake up, take a shower, get your coffee or whatever, start your day. That's a constant daily routine. Eating a balanced diet, get rid of junk food. You know, 9 times out of 10, if we don't want to cook, we want to eat. So we order out. That costs money. And it's not healthy for you, really. Because improving your diet can actually improve your life in general, especially when dealing with depression. And if you can, exercise. Even if it's just walking up and down the hall in your dwelling, your residence or whatever, a couple times a day. That's exercise. I was born with a bladder almost half the size of normal, and because of that, ultimately led to part of the reason for my diabetes. So I go to the bathroom a lot. I get a lot of exercise going up and down the hallway, about 20, 30 times a day. I kid you not. It's not fun, but just getting out, walking around outside, walking to the mailbox, that's exercise. But it's also Thank you, Havoc. I appreciate that. Case in point, I have friends here that are watching, and they're being respectful, not really interrupting, but like Havoc just said in chat, they appreciate me. Build a network, find friends, family, or people that you connect with, and talk to them. Even if you're having a bad day, just talk to them. You having a good day, share that experience with too. Build your support and network, okay? And help each other out. I have a great community of friends that I've developed over the last couple months. Artists, musicians, people that are just there. Even their spouses, I've come to call friends and stuff. And part of that came about because I wanted to build a collective network of people, not necessarily with depression or mental disorders, but people that I can connect with to help with my depression. So the Priority group that I'm a part of, all these wonderful people, men and women, we all have one thing in common. We do art, we do pyrography, wood burning, but we also support each other, and that in turn helps me cope with my depression. And learned as we're working or as we're doing stuff, we're helping each other, go through our daily activities. But one thing, we get so focused, we go through the singular focus mentality, and we were working on one thing. We need reminded to get up, stretch, drink, or hydrate. Take regular breaks. Doesn't matter what you're doing, just take a regular break. You're mowing the grass, stop. Take a break, drink some water, whatever you need to do. And try to identify troubles or things that are happening without dwelling on them. Okay? You get a neighbor's dog that won't stop barking. That could be trouble, but okay, the dog's barking. Do you have to, dwell on it and stress over it day after day after day, whatever? No. The dog's gonna bark. Just let it go. Okay? And don't dwell on negative things in your life. Don't, excuse me. God, these hiccups, they're driving me nuts. And don't focus on the negative things in life. Okay? That's my trigger. That's my number one trigger, is negative things in my life. I focus on positive things in my life. I try to be as positive as possible, day after day after day. And if something good happens, I acknowledge it. I see it for what it is. It's positive. It's a good thing. Maybe writing in a journal. Write your thoughts down. They always say, sometimes be, into your work or stuff or stuff. You can't get out of your own head, so write it down. That's maybe it's just a short sentence. So-and-so pissed me off today. What a turd. I'm trying to refrain from using profanity. Reduce your stress. If you don't have the money to pay your bills, either get more money or accept the fact that you just don't have the money. Let it go. And really, that's sometimes. I don't want it to be black and white, because it's really a gray area. But if you're short, either find the money or accept it. When you're trying to sleep, I'm really bad at this. I have a routine now where 30 minutes before I fall asleep, I try to relax. I just sit there or lay there or whatever, complete darkness. Might smoke a cigar or something, or just try to get my mind off of everything and just try to relax. And if you have a relaxing atmosphere in your surroundings when you're trying to sleep, 9 times out of 10, you're going to sleep better. They always say, don't go to bed angry. Don't do it. Because you're going to be tossing and turning all night long. Um, Learn how to stop negative thoughts. This is where actually cognitive development therapy or dealing with chaotic thoughts can come into play. Um, Therapy actually didn't work for me. I take a pill called Flexeril, which kind of organizes my thoughts, so to speak. It's for anxiety, um, but medication may not work for people, or maybe you just don't need it. So you can find ways to, stop negative thoughts yourself. Any number of things. If you think, I bring this up because it's a good example. You think your spouse is cheating, and they keep telling you it's not, and there's no evidence pointing to they're cheating. So why bother? Trust in the fact that they're not cheating. There you go. Try to keep your place clean, um, because when it gets dirty, it makes your depression worse. It really does. I make a habit of every day when I wake up, I clean the house. Now, whether it's just doing a couple dishes, I'm in the kitchen anyway, so I might as well clean up a little bit and stuff. Trash needs to take out, take the trash. I get my chores done at the beginning of the day so I can have the entire day and night to do whatever I want, and then I clean it the next day. It's a steady routine. It's something I do every day, and keeps my place clean. This next one is something that I came up with that really actually helps, whether you're with someone or not, whether you have a significant other or you don't. Create a personal wellness toolbox. What in the world is that? Sometimes just cuddling with your significant other is enough to make you feel good. It's enough to get you over the hump, so to speak. Or maybe women love this. Taking a hot bath, you got your candles, you got the relaxing atmosphere. You're so relaxed. You're like, Calgon, take me away. I think every time I see that, I always, that's how I came out. I always thought about it. Forget the fact that maybe in 10 minutes your kids are going to come in and interrupt your relaxation, but it's what you do to relax. So you tell your spouse, hey, I'm going to go take a hot bath. That means A, they're taking a hot bath. They don't want to be bothered. They want to be relaxed, and stuff. They don't want kids in there interrupting. They want some me time. And that could do absolute wonders for, improving your state of mind, and just letting you have a really good day. Try to be involved in the daily activities with, the things that you do or used to do, or even with just kids. And you don't have to participate, but at least try to just be there. Sometimes just presence of mind or presence of body and just being there is a positive effect that shows them support. Okay, even just looking or just observing. It's hard to ask for help, but when you do and you have your support group, sometimes you just need to be with someone. Having the companionship, whether it's friend, family member, or significant other, can drastically improve your mood. Just even if you're just sitting there watching TV together or something, you're there, and they know that you're going through something bad, and they're still willing to accept you and help you through whatever you need to do. If you need a sounding board, be it bent. Oh my God, I bent it the other day, and I tell you what, I felt like $1,000,000. And this I personally believe in. When I was in college, this is the number one reason why I don't really drink. I had alcohol poisoning in college 2 times. I was in the hospital 2 times. They gave me Epicac, or that black tar stuff to make you just lose your guts. Yeah, that's not pretty. But what actually did it was a catheter up my penis. All the way through with a blue in the other end. Don't pull that out. I started to and they stopped me, thank God. I could have ripped everything apart. But seeing that scared me so bad, I basically quit drinking. I am such a lightweight. Like I said, I drink maybe 1 or 2 beers on my birthday a year, and that's it. That's really it. And I feel good. I had a nice little buzz, but don't do it in excess. Don't drink heavily because it just makes things worse. It enhances whatever mood you're in. So if you're mad, it's a stimulant. It's going to make you even more mad. If you're depressed, it's going to make you even more depressed. Okay? And God forbid, don't do drugs. What in the world are drugs going to do for you? One, it's a waste of money. Again, this is my own personal thoughts. This is my own personal opinion. Okay? You may agree, you may not or disagree with it, but this is what I think. Don't do drugs. It's absolutely freaking stupid. The higher you get, you're just going to come down, and it's a waste of money. You know, if you want to escape, just walk. Go for a walk or something. One thing that I did a couple years ago, actually about 5 years ago, is I volunteered at a local foster home, group home, and I helped with kids. Just, like a big brother, big sister kind of deal. And just went out, did stuff, and ultimately what I didn't know in the background was it was a bad place. Kids were getting abused, yada yada yada. But I helped with them, and it made me feel like $1 million. And I apologize. I didn't mean to say yada yada yada. It's a super long story, and I'm trying not to get off track. But the unfortunate thing was, yes, the kids were abused. They ended up shutting the place down. The kids went to multiple different other foster care homes. One kid even went to a mental institution because he completely lost it. And it was really sad. But I like to think that volunteering, whether it's just for a charity or just helping a friend out or whatever, can really help you feel good. It can. And sometimes just going for a walk. I know one guy, he overcomes his depression by jogging 5 miles a day. 5 miles a day. Guy's fit as a fiddle. It's just amazing. And of course he gets on me for eating pizza all the time. So, but that, those are, your friends. But if you can't run, go for a swim. You'd be surprised. You're 30% body weight. So, you're losing 70% of how much you weigh. So if you weigh 100 pounds, in the water you only weigh 30 pounds. So you can actually do a lot of things when you swim. And God forbid, please don't drown. Try to rediscover things that you used to do. If you like to go bowling, just go to a bowling alley. Just go there and just watch. If anything, just watch. Maybe you might rent shoes, or maybe you might grab that bowling ball that's sitting in your closet. Maybe you might just go bowling again. If it helps you, or you feel good about it before, try to do it again. Take that first step. And if bowling doesn't work for you, just chill. I say this every time one of my friends starts ranting and raving, and they're just, they're really going at it. I'm like, just chill. Just chill. I try to make it humorous to lower the negativity that's emanating, but find different ways to relax. Find different ways to chill. Just sit back, and even if it's just sitting there, you relax, you're just staring outside, zoning out, watching the wind blow. Sometimes that's all you need. And if it's an absolute beautiful day, which it is, go outside. You'd be surprised just walking, spending a few minutes in the sun. Just sit there. You sit there with your eyes closed. or you sit there and just look around. Just being in the sun. Vitamin D is healthy. Healthy. You know, don't sunburn. God forbid, don't stay out there so long you sunburn. But when you isolate yourself indoors and you don't go out, you're actually making your depression worse. So if you get a chance, go outside, even for just a few minutes. Sometimes we develop an all or nothing attitude. If a problem comes up, we're going to bet the house. We're going to do anything and everything to find a solution. Okay, that's an all or nothing type mentality. It's not always black and white. It's not always just one solution. It could be a different solution. Open your mind. Realize that things are going on that you can't just solve them with a hammer. You can't. If TV's not working, don't hit it with a hammer. There might be other reasons for it. So try to come up with a different solution than one you're actually used to. And if you're with someone, it's called overgeneralization. Not everything's the same. All because you've been cheated on 20 times in the past doesn't mean that the person you're with is going to cheat on you. Okay? Don't give them a reason. They just, chances are they won't. You know, I use that as a reference because I experienced it, and it's easy to, to project or to talk about. Embrace positive events or things. Something good happens. Your brother has a kid. Embrace it. You got a nephew now. How many ways are you going to spoil that kid? How many ways can you take the child out and just show him a good time and get him so hyper and so wound up on sugar, you give him back to your parents and let them deal with it. It's positive. It's fun. They might not like it, but even still, so if it's a beautiful day outside, that's a positive thing. Go outside. Just, take that first step. Go outside. And if something negative happens, don't jump to conclusions. If your spouse is 10 minutes late than they normally are from work, doesn't mean they're out cheating on you. That just means that maybe they were stuck in traffic, or maybe they were just late getting out of work. Don't jump to conclusions. Try to find the solution, or try to find a reason for it. Take a minute and breathe. Count to 10 if you have to, before you make a decision, or before you go down a path that you really shouldn't, because it's just if you're upset, don't give your emotions power. Don't give them power over you. You see, when you're angry, don't just start smashing things, for absolutely no reason, then to intensify why you're angry, or to emphasize in a grandiose manner that you're pissed off. Doesn't make any sense. So don't give it power. Don't let it, overcome you. If something sad happens to you, yes, please cry if you need to. Take a minute and absorb the fact that something really bad happened. But don't dwell on it. Try not to. I can't tell you do or don't. Really, I shouldn't. Try not to, because sometimes it's just really hard. Try not to dwell on the emotional fact that you just lost someone or someone died. Yes, it is absolutely terrible, but it doesn't have to rule your life for days and weeks on end. And you don't have to stick to a shouldn't do this type mentality, because sometimes trying something new actually be fun. Country dancing. I did country dancing years ago when I worked at the Buffalo Rose and the Grizzly Rose in Denver, Colorado, and Golden, Colorado. A lot of famous country bands went through there, and I actually learned how to do the electric slide. That was brand new. I was scared to death doing it, but I did it. And it was fun. So sometimes finding something new can actually drastically and tremendously change your life. It really can. Try not to label yourself negatively. I'm fat. That's a big one. I'm fat. Okay, no, you're just overweight. Or your bone structure is specific that you're always going to be larger than normal. Okay? I'm fat. That's a negative thing. Or I'm stupid. No, you're not stupid. You're uneducated. That's really what it comes down to. You didn't know something, so learn it. Okay? And sometimes you just gotta ask for help. Sometimes you just gotta say, I can't do this. I need help. Whether it's professional or personal, taking that first step and saying, I need help, can drastically change your outlook on life. It really can. Now, I said this when I was fighting cancer, and I still hold it true to this day. Cancer, you hit like a bitch. You ain't gonna get us. You ain't gonna win. I'm gonna kick your ass. And I would say it every day. So, although I was scared of my cancer, I didn't let it beat me. I didn't let it, I stuck to the treatment plan. I went through chemotherapy. I went through radioactive, therapy with iodine. Quarantined for a month, dealing with everything. So, and I just kicked its butt. And I mean, thyroid is relatively easy cancer to cure or to get rid of or to deal with. Okay, but some cancer isn't. So if you have a positive mental attitude when you're going through it, it can really change the outlook and the results that could potentially happen. And everything I did is talk to people in my life. It's sad, but I have a sister. I don't talk to her. I don't talk to her because she's a former heroin addict. And she always has an attitude. And it's toxic to me. I love her to death. I would do absolutely anything possible for her. But I can't deal with her on a daily basis, a weekly, monthly, or even yearly basis. I just can't. It's too toxic for me. So sometimes you have to cut toxic people out of your life, even if they're family. If you get a friend that's constantly drinking and being stupid and just absolutely batty on everything they do, everything's to the extreme, they're toxic. Say thank you, I love you, but I can't do this. They mean that much to you, come back. Spend time with them once every couple months. Or, God forbid, cut them out of your life altogether. It happens. We all grow up and we all move on. And everything you can do, which I really need to do, is organize, stuff in your house or organize your workspace. My art space, okay, is very clean, very organized. Everything has its place. But 12 inches to my right is a desk full of art supplies, wood, my diabetic supplies, paper, medicine, you name it. It's just stacked there. So yeah, I probably could benefit from organizing this. I really could. But so try it. If you got a workspace or you got something in around the house, take a moment, look at it, and try to fix it, or try to clean it or organize it. You never know. When your life is organized, you're not dealing with the chaos of depression. And sometimes, like I showed you a little bit ago, sometimes all you need to do is just sit there and zone out. Just sit there and just look outside or look at something. I got a big screen TV right in front of me. You know, maybe there's something on, maybe there isn't. Sometimes you just gotta just chill, relax, zone out. Try not to think about stuff, you know. Or maybe you used to be religious. Maybe you're spiritual. When I played earlier the Tale of Two Wolves, I really respect Native Americans, not just Cherokee. I mean, there's Sioux, there's Blackfoot, there's Apache, there's Comanches. You know, there's different types of tribes out there. And I feel connected to them just because, like, their animal totems, their spirituality, the way they see life, the way they want to connect with the earth and not pollute it or kill Mother Earth. And also try to get in touch with spirituality if you need to, or if you believe in God, get back to your religion. Start reading the Bible. You never know. You might find that one passage that really makes you think. Or maybe you're not religious, you're not spiritual, you just don't care. Whatever the reason is. Listen to music. We all like music. I can't think of one person who doesn't like music unless, there's some reason for it. But, well, we all got our favorite kinds of music, I like electronic club music, something upbeat, something, whatever. Country music, ballads, 80s ballads, just chill. Just listen to music. Stare outside, enjoy that you can be outside, go for a walk, whatever, you can listen to music. And sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes you're just so overwhelmed or there's so many things going on that you just gotta go old school. Or when I say old school, I mean like prehistoric old school, like there's no electronics. Turn everything off. Lay on the floor, lay on your bed, it doesn't matter, just turn everything off. No electronics, no distractions, nothing. Just relax. I know people that do yoga. I've never done it. I know what yoga is. It's all different kinds of poses, and it's an exercise, for people to stretch their body out, but they like it. I've never done it. I probably could do it. I think. I don't know. We'll see. Another thing you can try is called acupuncture. You got little needles poking inside you. Yeah, and they get into pressure points, and pressure points can relieve tension and stress and all kinds of stuff. Doctors. If a doctor tells you not to move, don't move. If a doctor tells you to stay off your feet, stay off your feet. Listen to the doctor, even if you hate it, because they went to school for it. You did it. Okay, they're there to help you, and by telling you to do something and not to do something, they're helping you. Just follow the directions. Some people, they're stubborn. They let their emotions overcome them. If you know your yard needs mowed, but you got a broken leg, should you really be out there mowing the grass with a broken leg? Probably not. So maybe you should just ask someone to help you, or pay someone to help you. Try to set attainable goals. Wake up every day at 9 o'clock. Doesn't matter what's going on, whether you could sleep in all day if you wanted to or whatnot. Set a goal. If you can accomplish one goal, you can accomplish another goal. You can accomplish another goal after that. Okay? by attaining goals that you set for yourself, you actually improve your quality of life, believe it or not, because it's a positive thing. It's something that you can do. Sometimes you like being outside, but you live in the city. Go to a park. Go walk in the woods, or go on a trail. Excuse me. Just be out in nature. You'd be surprised at how quiet and calm it is just walking in the woods, or being out in nature altogether. Even when I was a nomad in the desert, yeah, it was hot. Well, not really that hot at the time, but just out in nature. How did those rocks get there? How long have they been there? Look at the shapes of the rocks. It's just, you're not dealing with your depression, or you're not, letting it kick your butt. You're actually trying to be more positive about it and say, oh wow, that's kind of cool, I guess. Even if you're not into it, but just being out in nature can have a healing effect. Depression has the stigma. A lot of it is people just nasty. For guys, we're just lashing out. We're being ugly to other people and stuff. You don't have to. Sometimes having actual manners can make a world of difference, not just in your life, but in someone else. I'm old school. Please, thank you, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Chivalry, opening doors. Sometimes just being nice to someone, or even an animal, can just make you feel like $1,000,000. Feeding a squirrel, feeding a stray dog, or a cat for that matter, can actually help you feel better. Practice gratitude. Say thank you. Appreciate what is going on, whether it's that particular situation or what's going on in your life. Appreciate it. I generally appreciate and love all the positive things that happen in my life on a daily basis. I really do, but I'm also humble about it. I see it for what it is, but I don't talk about it, or I don't elaborate or just make it blow up. Sometimes all you need to do is just take a deep breath. Oh my God. Sometimes things are just just crazy. Just take a deep breath. There's a breathing exercise that I like to do sometimes. Inhale for 4, hold it for 7, exhale for 8. 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 7. Let it out for 8. It helps. Be surprised. Sometimes I'll do it before I go to sleep. Next thing you know, I'm out like a light. And some people are lovey-dovey. Some people aren't. Sometimes all they need is a hug. So I try to practice this in my streams and stuff, I do virtual hugs, because I can't actually touch people. But when I say hugsies or a virtual hug, that's me showing that, hey, I appreciate you as a person. Now, this one here, this next one, baseball bat, punching bag. Sometimes you have so much anger that it just, you're going to explode. You're absolutely going to do something drastic. Hit a bag, hit a wall. Well, not a concrete wall, but do something other than hitting a person. You don't have, because you're pissed off doesn't mean you have to hit someone else. Go get a punching bag, a pillow, grab a pillow and punch it, or do something, but don't hit a person, please. It can ruin your life. Okay. So, baseball bat, punching bag, or just punching a bag. Period. That can do absolute wonders. If you're taking a bath, scream underwater. Be surprised sometimes just screaming can actually screaming can actually do wonders. You release so much stress just in the screaming affecting itself. All right. And the last thing, I mean, I can come up with probably more, but there's one thing that has helped me. It's my magical one thing that will always put a smile on my face, improve my mood, and get me through, from day to day. I have that magical one thing. It's my son. Was actually given the chance to be a father to him. I've been able to raise him as a kid, and he's so much like me. It's not even funny, but he brightens my day every single day. Because of him, I got through being cheated on, cancer, and a divorce all at the same time. And we talk all the time. And he gives me joy knowing that I'm his father and I can be a part of his life every day. Doesn't matter what I go through in my life. Doesn't matter how bad it gets. Doesn't matter how destructive things get or chaotic things get in my life. I will always have that one thing, and that's my son. Hello, what is going on, everybody? How you doing? Sorry about that. Oh, it's been a while. I been going through a lot. Don't know quite. I don't know. I got ghosted. I mean, I'm still trying to figure it out. Uh, Talking, like texting, messaging, and stuff, 10, 12 hours a day, every day for over a week. She said she had to go to the store to use a Wi Fi, talking, and poof, gone. Like, doesn't respond to text, doesn't respond to messages. I go to see, what's going on. Turns out she blocked me on Facebook. Can't contact her. So I'm like, okay. Just weird. It was out of the blue. It just could. I haven't been able to figure it out. You know. First I thought maybe something happened to her phone. Maybe she broke it. I mean, she had one of those Obama phones, you know, where you only have a couple gigabytes of data every month, and it's, you know, text messaging and phone calls and stuff, but none of the text messages have been read. The phone call goes straight to voicemail, whatever. So that kind of leads me to believe is something happened to her phone. But the one thing that is still a red flag is blocked me on Facebook. So then I got to thinking, well, she still lives with her ex in a house that she's paying a mortgage on, and and everything. So maybe he got a hold of the phone, blocked me, and like freaked out or did some crazy shit. So gotta wait till next month, maybe, when she gets data and she can actually talk again, to find out an answer and stuff. But all the advice, all the people, that I've asked questions for and everything, they're just like, you get ghosted, just let it go, you know, just walk away. Obviously, it wasn't meant to be, and if they were willing to ghost you like that, maybe it was a red flag. But there's there was no red flags. That's the one thing that just it's driving me nuts. Is there was no red flags. I mean, if somebody's getting ready to ghost you, they're going to stop talking to you. They're going to, you know, give you one word answers or something. And also with an Obama phone, you know, it's just, I don't know. I haven't been able to figure out. But uh, if she is listening to this, or if she happens to hear this, you know, uh, believe it or not, I'm still here. You know, I told you I wouldn't give up. You know, so I'm going to give you until beginning of the month. And actually, I'm going to give you to my birthday. If I do not hear from you by the time my birthday comes around, then that's that. I'll move on with the rest of my life because I got stuff to do. I applied for a loan and one of those PPP loans. So I'm going to blow through probably $1,000. I'm going to go out to Arizona. I'm going to get my stuff and get my stuff at a storage and bring it all back. So that way, if and when I do have, the capabilities to get a new vehicle or whatnot, I can start doing events and I can actually start improving my quality of life. Because that's really what it comes down to is, doing what's best for me. And if you're not going to be a part of that picture, then, well, there'll be someone else out there that maybe wants to be a part of my life. Because as it stands right now, I'm still alone. And told you when anything negative is a trigger for my depression, hands down. So being ghosted was a major trigger, and I mean, it is what it is. If it was intentional, and you were cheating on your boyfriend or your actual boyfriend, and you wasn't, and you lied to me and everything else, and you just tried to find something better, and then so be it. But I like to think that you're not that kind of a person, especially after some of the things that we talked about, and you won't want to do that to someone. If you are, then that's pretty fucked up. But anyways, birthday. If I don't hear from you, I move on. That's all there is to it. So, with that being said, I have. I'm gonna go over a couple things real quick on my there we go. And let's see. There we go. So it was suggested to me after I read The Last Personality that maybe I should just go through and read like all 16 of them. Okay. I got this ring light, right? And the screw for it doesn't work. Doesn't work for shit. So I have to keep messing with it to get it to actually be somewhat decent. So with that being said, I should probably get out of this. There we go. So this is the architect personality. INTJ-A-T. They're just different spectrums, different parts of it. Okay. So an architect is a person with the introverted, intuitive thinking and judging personality traits. These thoughtful tacticians love perfecting the details of life, applying creativity and rationality to everything they do. The inner world is often a private, complex one. It can be lonely at the top as one of the rarest personality types and one of the most capable. Architects know this all too well. Rational, quick-witted architects may struggle to find people who keep up with their non-stop analysis of everything around them. Thirst for knowledge. These personalities can be both the boldest of dreamers and the bitterest of pessimists. Architects believe that through willpower and intelligence, they can achieve even the most challenging of goals. But they may be cynical about human nature more generally, assuming that most people are lazy, unimaginative, or simply doomed to mediocrity. Architects derive much of their self-esteem from their knowledge and mental acuity. In school, people with this personality type may have been called bookworms or nerds, but rather than taking these labels as insults, many architects embrace them. They are confident in their ability to teach themselves and master any topic that interests them, whether it's coding, computer, or classical music. Architects can be single-minded with little patience for frivolity, distractions, or idle gossip. That said, it would be a mistake to stereotype these personalities as dull or humorless. Many architects are known for their irrelevant wit, and beneath their serious exteriors, they often have a sharp, delightfully sarcastic sense of humor. Finding a better way. Architects question everything. Many personality types trust the status quo, relying on unconventional wisdom and other people's expertise as they go about their lives. But ever skeptical architects prefer to make their own discoveries. In their quest to find better ways of doing things, they aren't afraid to break the rules or risk disapproval. In fact, they rather enjoy it. But as everyone with this personality type will tell you, a new idea isn't worth anything unless it actually works. Architects want to be successful, not just inventive. They bring a single-minded drive to their passion projects, applying the full force of their insight, logic, and willpower. And heaven help anyone who tries to slow them down by enforcing pointless rules or offering poorly thought out criticism. This personality type comes with this comes with a strong independent streak. Architects don't mind acting alone, perhaps because they don't like waiting around for others to catch up with them. They also generally feel comfortable making decisions without asking for anyone else's input. At times, this lone wolf behavior can come across as insensitive, as it fails to take into consideration other people's thoughts, desires, and plans. Social frustrations. Architects aren't known for being warm and fuzzy. They tend to prioritize rationality and success over politeness and pleasantries. In other words, they'd rather be right than popular. This may explain why so many fictional villains are modeled on this personality type. Because architects value truth and depth, many common social practices from small talk to white lies may seem pointless or downright stupid to them. As a result, they may inadvertently come across as rude or often offensive when they're only truly trying to be honest. At times, architects may wonder if dealing with other people is even worth the frustration. But like any personality type, architects do crave social interaction. They just prefer to surround themselves with people who share their values and priorities. Often, they can achieve this just by being themselves. When architects pursue their interests, their natural confidence can draw people to them, professionally, socially, and even romantically. This personality type is full of contradictions. Architects are imaginative yet decisive, ambitious yet private, and curious yet focused. From the outside, these contradictions may seem. Oh, excuse me. Let me take a quick drink here. For architects, this life is a giant game of chess. Relying on strategy rather than chance, they contemplate their strengths and weaknesses of each move before they make it, and they never lose faith that, with enough ingenuity and insight, they can find a way to win, no matter what challenges might arise the way. Strengths and weaknesses. Ooh. Irrational, informed, independent, determined, curious, versatile. Weaknesses: arrogant, dismissive of emotions, overly critical, combative, romantically clueless. Oh, that should be interesting to read. Alright. Strengths: rational. Sorry. Architects pride themselves on their minds. For them, nearly any situation can become an opportunity to expand their knowledge, hone their rational thinking skills. Thanks to this mindset, they can devise inventive solutions to even the most arduous of problems. Some big words in this fucking thing. Damn. Anyways. Informed. Few personality types are as devoted as architects who form a rational, evidence-based opinion. Rather than hunches or half-baked assumptions, they base conclusions on research and analysis. This gives them the self-assurance they need to stand up for their ideas, even in the face of disagreement. Independent. For those personality types, conformity is more or less synonymous with mediocrity. Creative and self-motivated, architects strive to do things their own way. They can imagine. Oh, Jesus! Sorry, I'm so sorry. They can imagine few things more frustrating than allowing rules or conventions to stand in the way of their success. They're determined. Architect personalities are ambitious and goal-oriented. Whenever idea of pursuit captures their imagination, architects dedicate themselves to mastering the subject and gaining relevant skills that tend to have clear visions of what it means for them to be successful. And few things can deter them from turning these visions into reality. Curious. Excuse me. Architects are open to new ideas as long as those ideas are rational and evidence-based. That is, skeptical by nature. These personality types are especially drawn to offbeat, contrarian points of view. They're even open to changing their own opinion when the facts prove them wrong. And they're versatile. Architects love diving into all sorts of challenges, and curiosity and determination can help people with this personality type succeed in a wide range of endeavors. Weaknesses. Arrogant. Architects might be knowledgeable, but they're not infallible. The self-assurance can blind them useful input from other people, especially when they deem to be intellectually inferior. These personalities can also become needlessly harsh or single-minded in trying to prove others wrong. Dismissive of emotions. For architects, rationality is king, but emotional context even matters more than people with this personality type care to admit. Architects can get impatient with anyone who seems to value feelings more than facts. Unfortunately, ignoring emotion is its own type of bias, one that can cloud architects' judgment. Yawning. That's what happens when you decide to stream at 5 o'clock in the morning. Overly critical. These personalities tend to have a great deal of self-control, particularly when it comes to thoughts and feelings. When the people in their lives fail to match their level of restraint, architects can become unscathelessly critical, but this criticism is often unfair, based on arbitrary standards rather than full understanding of human nature. The combative. Architects hate blindly following anything without understanding why. This includes restrictions and authority figures who impose them. People with this personality type can get caught up in arguing about useless rules and regulations, but sometimes these battles are distractions from more important matters. Romantically clueless, architects' relentless rationality can lead them to be frustrated by romance. Especially in the early stages of a relationship, they may struggle to understand what's going on and how to behave. And if the relationship falls apart for reasons they don't understand, they become cynical about matters of the heart, even questioning the importance of love and connection. Okay. Romantic relationships. People with their architect personality type approach romance the way they do most challenges, strategically, with clear-cut goals and a plan for reaching them. In a purely rational world, this approach will be foolproof. Alas, you should probably count how many times I yawned. Jesus. Alas, it ignores important factors that architects sometimes dismiss, such as the unpredictability of human nature and affection. For these personalities, finding a compatible partner can be a particular challenge. Rarely satisfied with things as they are, architects are always developing a world in their minds that is more perfect than reality. Other people entering their world need to fit this fantasy in some way. But if architects' expectations and ideals for a partner are unrealistic, there is no real reason, no real person will be, well, sorry, no real person will be able to fulfill them in every way. The rights of dating. Architects care about depth and intelligence, and they insist on honest, open communication. For them, a relationship isn't founded on these values is hardly worth pursuing. It might not come as a surprise then that the social niceties and obscure etiquette of dating can seem useless or even insulting to architect personality types. But many of these conventions exist for a reason. They help an inherently unpredictable situation seem a little less daunting. If architects refuse to play along, they may find the dating world difficult, if not possible. As they mature and gain experience, many architects eventually come to understand the purpose of romantic rituals. Until that point, however, they may decide that dating is too irrational or beneath them. Some people with this personality type might constantly try to demonstrate their intellectual superiority as a way of proving that they're above the silliness of dating. Obviously, this mindset is unlikely to help architects find or connect with their partner. Sorry about that. Sometimes architects' best strategy is to focus on what they enjoy rather than struggle against the rules of dating. Ironically, people with this personality type are often most attractive when they aren't trying to be. Just doing what they do best, pursuing interests that light them up, can help their confidence and intelligence shine. Motion sickness. Architect personalities aren't known for the conventional shows of romance such as singing flowers or writing mushy notes. Most architects spend more time thinking about love than expressing it. But when they believe that a relationship has potential, architects can give it their all, working to maintain stability and ensure their partner's long-term satisfaction. And by using their imagination, people with this personality type can find meaningful, if unexpected, ways to share their affection. That said, emotions may still feel like a second language to these personalities. Rather than getting into the core of their relationship conflicts, architects might treat them as puzzles to be solved, an approach that isn't always successful. And when their partners share strong feelings, architects might shut down and might be tempted to analyze the situation rather than simply listening and offering support. For architects, becoming comfortable with the partner's emotions and their own can take more than a little practice. Love is rarely easy, but it's a challenge that can help architects grow. Through the relationships, architects can learn to focus on the present, get in touch with their emotions, remain involved with other people, and stay open to things they're not used to. For personality types so intent on self-development, these opportunities can make love even more satisfying. Well, we could probably generate or figure out the rest of this. Their friendships, Basically, a person's not smart enough to be their friend. They don't want to be with them. Parenthood, no, they're strict parents. So, yeah, that's some crazy shit. I can't even read the rest of it because, wow. So, that being said, uh, uh, there we go. So, today's just a really short stream, just because I wanted to get a few things off my chest. I'm going to try to. I don't know when I'm going to stream because my diabetes is still kind of messed up, and um, I never know when I'm going to be awake, when I'm not. It's too bright, and you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I got ghosted, so that's affecting my mental health. Um, yeah, that's a lot of what's been going on. So I haven't been talkative. I haven't reached out to a lot of people. Um, but I got my art, so I could deal with that. All right. Well, thank you for showing. Hope everybody has a great day. Take care.